on a minute. I got my underwear in a bunch.
Welcome.
That's a little better. Oh, I should have shut the door. Oh, whoops.
The Business G-Spot Podcast.
Oh, no. I was talking to a friend this week who said, "What's that G-Spot podcast you do?" And I'm like, "The Business G-Spot." Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
Well, we could talk
about
the
occasionally
G-Spot in your business. We've talked about that. We could talk about the G-Spot in your business.
Okay, so this was a standing joke at an office I worked at many years ago, and I worked very few offices, but one of the offices I worked at, secretary comes in late one day, and we're like, "What's up?" She goes, "Well, something came up. I came in late because something came up."
Boom.
Anyway. So the good, the bad, and the ugly, all right. You know what I mean? We had some engagement last week, and some people engaged even afterwards. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And here's the thing, as we've been doing this podcast, I mean, Tim knows all about podcasts because he's been doing it for a really long time, sort of. But here's what we're finding out. With any podcast, you just have to do it and wing it and figure out what works and what doesn't. And we've gone through various different stages of this podcast on what works and what does not work. So we found that this particular format works really well, where we talk about our own life and things going on, and it always centers into a business topic or tip that we can give you.
Yeah.
You're listening. And so
but what made last week so successful, though? I'm just being honest with you.
Well, part of it was that I know that we're sending off posts a little bit beforehand to get people to come. I know I am at least going to my channels to let everybody know.
Well, yeah, it's broadcast automatically to all of my channels, but anyway.
Yeah. And there's always different ways we can do this. And I'm going to stream this to my audience right now.
See if it lets you do it.
Oh, see, I got to log in or create an account. So I was logged in, but for some reason it wasn't working for me, but
do a screen share of what you're seeing first.
So we're going to do screen share.
It's going to play, it's going to play some weird, funky looks, but that's all right. Let's do this for a second so some of our listeners can see. And now I get a lot of the updates from StreamYard to see what they do and don't do.
So here you can see at the top here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, we're in like.
Yeah, it's going to do that flip. Don't worry about the flip thing.
Anyway, you can see up here it says stream to your audience.
Click it.
And the only way I can do this is by signing in. Because if you go here, it says I have to log in or create an account to send this stream to my social account.
So, all right, you may get kicked off, but it's okay. This is great for us to actually have this recording. Click it and try to see what it does.
Okay, so we're going to try and log in. Oh, maybe it'll work. We shall
click
see.
Resume.
There we go. Oops. Can you see my page?
No, it's still stuck on that. It's just showing the button.
So I'm signing in right now on the back end. I'm getting my sign-in code. Hold on.
There's her sign-in code, everybody. Write that down because it won't be good in 3 seconds.
Log in. See what happens.
She'll be back. Trust me. All right. I know she'll be back. Okay. It's probably going to pop her out. She'll pop back in. All right.
Okay. You can do it. Now, check this out. Now, it gives me this option, and I'm going to stream.
I don't have it. I don't have your screen share. I lost that when you went out and came back in.
Okay. Let me do the screen share again. So,
all right.
Present the screen share. And we're going to go into the window here. Share. So now you can see, here it is again. I
Mhm.
logged in. We were online. It didn't
Yep.
push me out. And now I'm going to stream. Here are all of my channels that I can now stream this to.
And you're gonna have to
And
write
then
a
I can
title or something. Yeah.
do.
All right. So we are at episode 62, the Business G Spot. All right.
How's that?
Yep.
Now customize for destination.
Yeah. See, watch. It'll give you. Yeah. Just
Changes.
save changes.
Descriptions. Oh, I got to do a
You
description.
gotta have a description. Yeah. Right.
Okay. There we
Let's see if it
go.
goes. And it popped up in my window now. All right.
And now you can see at the top of mine right here. It's sharing to Facebook and it's sharing to LinkedIn.
Yep. Now here's what on mine. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to show you mine. Oh, it's not.
And now look at this. You got this ad stream. There's another stream down here.
So if you notice on mine now, all right, up here at the top, you see there's these two. They're really they're like links. That shows me that you doing it. All these other ones are ones I share too on mine every week. So like I have the Business G Spot we have a Facebook page, we have a YouTube channel, all right, and then it's one of my Facebook groups, which that's another thing we probably should eventually create with our book club, is a Facebook group. All right. And, it goes to my personal page, my business page, my LinkedIn page. All right. And then
notice here at the bottom, you've got your share and I've got my share. So
yeah, it's because down there is, on the bottom, I have your share. I can switch it to you. Well, now yours just blinked off, but I
went ahead and took it off.
Because I was going to say, I could actually put that back in or take that back out. All right.
Which is kind of awesome because that gives you an opportunity that you've got two people that are sharing. You don't have to do this back and forth.
As long as you leave it there, it's good. Yeah. Now, if you notice the layouts at the bottom, which is this down here, I was there earlier because they just put this out now where you can custom layouts. And I just created this custom layout this week to do this. So we can actually hold a conversation and then we can have the little preview down there. It's small, right? But if we had a slideshow with one-word slides down there, a topic, we could actually do that. It would actually work.
And I think too, when you use this one here, the news layout, you can show the slide and the person talking to the left of it.
Well, the other options they have are this one, this is the standard one I used forever. There was this one, which kind of takes you out.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
This is the newest one they did. So basically, I can have me. Me is your main person, and then your sub people over there.
Yeah.
So you can do the Brady Bunch thing. This was the one that a lot of people use, and I don't like it because it doesn't give any artwork of what's going on with the show.
No.
I've always used this one. This was my favorite because it gave me a great banner space down below to work with.
Now,
I could put a comment or a banner in here.
Yeah, but if you do the screen share on this, will it show it at the bottom of this one as well?
No, watch. The screen share on this one, it goes automatically to that.
Screen share. Got it. Okay,
I created this one. All right, and I could add it. I could do custom ones. You know what I mean? And it's because it's custom now. You can actually do the customs. So, and depending on what we have with stuff like that, whereas we might end up doing where we get sponsorships or something, we can run a sponsors ad down there, or we could do something where it's playing the little video down there, and we can be talking about it. So there's other things now. One of the ones they have in here, and it's only one person. It may not do two. Bless you. One of the ones they have is this one here, where it has the pictures down in the bottom, and then it's full screen.
Oh, okay. With the
All right, yeah, and if you notice, our pictures are down below. So
boy, that looks busy.
yeah, well, it's that. If we did just hold on, if I just let me create a different screen, or if I want to
But you can see, folks, as we're going through this, there's a lot of great new options that StreamYard is allowing. And I know they're allowing to do virtual backgrounds now without having to do a green screen.
Yeah.
However, as women, it doesn't work so well because depending on how your hair is,
I have bad
when you
lighting.
move,
Hey, everybody, we're back. It's Tim Gillette and my co-host over here. Oops, did I get
Katrina Garcia. Hi, everybody.
That's an old drawing.
So as you can tell, I'm in a different.
That was in the apartment we were in.
Yeah, I was. That was one where I was in a hotel of some sort.
Yep, you were in the hotel room.
But you see, I can play with it. That's just the things it does. That's the video over there. So
very awesome.
Yeah, there's things you can do. You can play the video. You can play videos in here.
Wait, can I just say I've not aged at all?
Yeah, sure. Anyway.
So these are great opportunities for people to utilize when they're utilizing StreamYard. And we've talked about this before, where with StreamYard is more for podcasts and having
run podcasts, run your show, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Where Zoom is a totally different animal. Zoom is for having
meetings. Is for meeting, but both Zoom and StreamYard have webinar capabilities.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
All right. And I still have the webinar version of Zoom. All right, because I got that special deal that was included for what was that company? Be Connected or something.
Yeah. I knew it started with a B.
They don't have that deal anymore. They've moved on to something else that they say is better. No, really, they got canned. Yes, I'm saying that, and they're friends of mine. All right, they got canned from the deal, right? And because they got canned for the deal, they found something better. So, you know what I mean? But I teach that to my clientele as well. Never tell people, hey, basically, we got screwed over by these people. No, you basically come in and goes, hey, we've got this new thing out that's more and improved. All right. And you upsell it. Right. And that's what they're doing with it, which is a great marketing tool on their parts. But if I don't continue to get it through what I had already, I go to John Limbacher actually has access to it when I'm part of John Limbacher's network. So I will get it through John. So.
Well, and there's also Webinar Jam. I think it's Webinar Jam or
Webinar Jam is part of Kartra, and the price you pay for Webinar Jam, I can get that same deal with these. The same thing works with these two, as opposed to it's less expensive with Zoom.
Yes,
but it doesn't work. I can't use Webinar Jam as a meeting space like I can Zoom. So
and keep in mind, you can use a free version of StreamYard. I'm not paying for StreamYard right now. I know Tim pays for an account, but I'm not.
Yeah. I pay lots of money to use StreamYard. I love you.
But with StreamYard, the freebie, I mean, you can still do quite a few things with the freebie. And depending on what your needs are and what you want to put together for your podcast would depend on exactly which one you want to utilize, whether that be the paid version or the free version. And same way with Zoom. Zoom's got a free version as well. But
there are plenty of things out there. I prefer, and I've gotten used to StreamYard. When I find something that works and works for me, I use it to death. That's just being smart. I use it to death. I do not go out there and go, well, there's a new thing out there this month. Let me just jump ship and go over and try it. I'm not that way. Yeah. All right. You really have to convince me to go try it, and I'll try it, but I won't drop my current plan. In other words, I'm using Kartra still. All right. I used before Kartra, I used one shopping cart. Yeah. And here's how long I used one shopping cart for close to 10 years, I think, right?
Yeah. It's been around a long time.
Yeah, I knew how to use it. I knew how to trick it. I knew how to play games with it. I went in and created a product and a delivery system.
You knew how to finesse it.
Yeah. I took a product and a delivery system like that one day while on a broadcast with people as a joke and had the link up, and people actually thought it was a live link and bought the product.
Wow.
And I did that while on a broadcast, right? I knew it that well. Well, everybody came along. ClickFunnels is easier. Go to ClickFunnels, right? And I tried ClickFunnels. Not going to put them down, but I tried it, but it didn't resonate with me, right? Yeah. And then I realized everything that I tried with ClickFunnels, it wasn't working. And then I went back over. It's one of the things we use for the Simple Easy websites that we're creating is we use Optimized Press for our builder, right?
Yeah.
I could use Optimized Press and run circles around people, what they're doing with everything else. Why? I've been using Optimized Press since it was their original, and I think they're on a Optimized Press 3 or something like that now with Optimized Builder, Optimized Legacy. I mean, I've got it all, right?
Are they trying to make a one-stop shop like a lot of the other ones that are out there?
It's got a lot of one-stop shop. To tell the truth, it is very similar to ClickFunnels.
Okay.
All right. You still need additive tools to make it work. All right. But like ClickFunnels, it has all the stuff adapted in. And instead of being on ClickFunnels server, it's on your server. It's on your website.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean? If you stop paying, all right, and it's a by the year subscription, not a month to month. You buy for a year at a time. You don't buy month to month with them. Whereas ClickFunnels, you're buying month to month. Oh man, I forgot my bill. All of a sudden, all your pages are going. No, this one here, all your pages stay up. All right. However, if you want to get the additive features, you got to buy the license next year.
Yeah.
Again.
True.
Right?
And that's with any system that's out there.
Yeah.
You have to give it a little bit of time and figure out if it's really going to work for you. I know a lot of times people will go on and they'll do it for 5 days or they do it for 7 days and they get frustrated because they can't get it to work for them.
Yeah.
But the key thing that we've talked about on the show before too is when you're looking at any system, there's 3 things you want to look at. One is if you're the one that's going to be utilizing it, is it easy for you to implement?
Yes.
2 is it play nice with all the other platforms that you have? So that way you don't have to say, oh crap, I got this, but now it doesn't play nice with that. And now it doesn't play nice with that. So I'm going to have to get something else. And
that goes back to my Simple Easy model.
Yes.
Right?
And 3, is it easy enough for you to use? And it has really good customer service so that if you have questions or there's a great chat that you can go online and at least get some answers. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to systems or platforms. You're trying to figure it out and you're doing it at 9 o'clock at night because that's the time you've got to work on it. And there's nobody around to give you any answers whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Hold on a second here. But it goes back to my Simple Easy system. And that is, don't buy the automation first, build the system first and find the automation to work the system.
Yeah.
Well, people get into that is they go out trying to buy these tools. All right. By it's the newest, latest, greatest thing out there. And it doesn't work with the system you've been using for years. I build my systems and then get the tools to work my system.
Well, and let's kind of break that down too in regards to systems. I mean, a lot of times when people are talking about systems, we talk about.
I know. I fight a headache too, Anna, every week. All right. I partnered with her this long. I have to stick it out.
Hopefully you feel better, Anna. But when you're talking about systems are the things that you're putting in place for your business right now, whether that be a planner, whether that be an Excel spreadsheet, to keep tabs of your clients, whatever that is, it's considered a system. Like last show, you were showing how your system is a pad where you write everything down and that you have your SOP, your standard operating procedure, where you've got it all typed up and you've got all of these documentations where you've got all your docs and so forth in a row. So those are systems that you're setting up. But yeah, but then once you've got those systems in place, now you can look at platforms to do these things for you easier so that it makes your life easier. You don't want it to make your life harder. You want it to be easier.
Yep.
And that's
Captain's log, March 30th, 2023.
I'm I'm just saying, and I wanted to clarify that because a lot of times when people look at systems and platforms, they're seeing them as the same thing, and that's not necessarily the case.
This
Systems
is,
are
and I'm
how
letting
you're
you know.
running.
I have always said, Katrina, you don't need a life coach, all right? But they do. A coach will help you be more successful, but you don't need one, right?
No.
That's being truthful. That being said, those people who actually work with a coach learn to check these things out. I am big on my mastermind members. Before you sign up for anything, call me.
Yeah.
Not because I want to discourage you from buying it, because I'm going to come in there and go, okay, you told me this was your plan. How does that fit into your plan?
Yeah.
I'm going to hit them with that every time. You said this is your plan. Show me where that fits into your plan. And then come back. Well, because half the time they want to get it because a salesman said it was good for them. Not picking on salesmen, not saying it's not a good plan, but my clients said, this is what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times you're going to go to training classes or you're going to go to these training seminars. They have their favorite systems.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? A lot of times their favorite systems are sponsoring their event.
That's right.
So because they're sponsoring their event, you get a discount that normally you wouldn't get otherwise. And so you're getting a discount and you get signed up on these systems. And now you're utilizing them. And now you're finding, I bought this system at this training thing and it's not working so well. I don't even know how to set it up. And I've had it for like 3 months now and I've been paying all this money and I still haven't set it up. And I think that's the biggest issue that drives me crazy is they will sign up for it, but they don't do anything to set it up or get it going for themselves. And then they look at the money they're spending and going, why am I spending this much money on this thing?
It's like I was down Craig's house a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me how he still has Kartra. He still has one shopping cart. He still has ClickFunnels.
Wait. He still has one shopping cart?
He still has, because there's stuff that he still has through it. Yeah.
Why can't
I had a version of one
over to Kartra?
I had a version of one shopping cart that because then again it's lists too.
Yeah.
He has sizable lists. You can't take a sizable list and just dump it to someplace, because when you do, that list can get wiped. All right. I had a huge list. I mean, huge, before I went to one shopping cart with MailChimp. This was back when MailChimp was like, just starting out, and they're giving away the farm. All right. And I had this 20 some odd thousand person list. That's huge. Right. True. And back then I didn't have to pay for it. Right. It was
very true.
But when I moved it to one shopping cart, guess where the list went?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it did not convert over because people had to convert back in, and the system would not allow it to let me to just transfer them in. I had to go in, and I wasn't typing 20,000 names one by one.
Well, the key thing, though, about Kartra and a lot of the other systems that are out there is they allow you to upload that list as a comma separated value, CSV. Yeah. You can do that, but then part of that they make you promise, so it's not spam, is they make you promise to send an email out to everybody letting them know you're moving from one system to the other, that they want to continue to be on your list and get whatever the case may be. Hit here and it will double opt them in. So then that way now that brand new system looks at them as, okay, this is a viable list now. You may lose people, but your list is more, it's now down to the people that actually want to listen to you, that actually want stuff from you, that are actually interested in being a continued client. Whereas if the rest of them go away, then
no. So John Limbacher has this conversation with people about Kartra on his call almost every week. And he talks about this. He said, if you're going to move your list into Kartra is very, very picky on having clean lists, all right, and keeping the spam clean, things like that. If you sell to a list and you get complaints, Kartra will not let you use their email tool.
Yeah, they will shut you down.
They will shut you down. So John always said the greatest thing in the world is create a new freebie. You send out that thing to your list. The new freebie is getting them to opt into the new system.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
what I did was I had on one shopping cart, I had a list, I don't know, maybe it was like 1,200 people left, right? And I took and narrowed it down. I sent out a list to 1,200 people saying, listen, if I haven't heard from you in a long time, all right, and I checked the open rates of people who opened versus people who didn't. If they didn't open the email, I then put them on a 7-day email sequence to get them to open. All right. I actually went in and offered everybody in that 1,200 people in there, I offered them for free my Kickstart Your Blog program, which I charge $97 for free. You just have to go opt in. Deal runs out on Tuesday. You got to go opt in. Why? Because I got them over to the new system.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's great ways of doing that, but what people have to understand too, and this is what drives me nuts, and I still get advertisements for this, is people will buy lists. So they'll go in and somebody will say, hey, we've got this great list. You can be a part of it, blah, 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 blah. Basically what it is it's a list that they have bought with all these people's names and emails on it. And anytime you use a bot list, a lot of these systems know whether it's been bought or not.
No. How do you deal? No. How do you deal with a bot list? Have you thought this through?
I don't deal with bot lists because
I want you to think about this. All right. It can be done. You're not going to get a ton of customers off this, but you could get some.
Possibly.
Craig does this thing at his seminars almost every time, and I keep them here because I do it every couple of months. Craig says this thing to do every couple of months. Get all of these envelopes, all right, that have no postage due, and mail them something. Right? Send a mailer. This made me think of how to get around them. This is like I'm mailing to a list that I don't even know.
Yeah.
How do I actually get these people to engage? I have to write a letter to them. I don't put a mailer in there, right? I put a letter in there personally addressing them. So when they open it up, it is like, you know what I mean? I kind of learned who these people are that opened it up. And I learned to write a personalized letter that makes it feel like I wrote it to them. So you can take your bot list. Again, these are people you don't know.
Well, but on that other end, though, there are different types of bot lists. There's one bot list where it's just emails, and that won't do you very good. Or there's the bot list that actually has physical addresses.
No. Yes and no. All right. Now, I won't use my Kartra mailing tool. All right. I'll buy another one like SendGrid or something like that. And I'm not going to send a sales letter to them. Here's what I'm going to send to them. Hey, listen, you don't know me. All right. But I heard that you were in blank industry. Considering you're in blank industry, I made this free training video. If you want, all right, go click on here and watch it. All right. If it's for you. It's free. You don't have to opt in. Just go watch it. Why? I want them to go to something to see who I am, get to know who I am, and at the bottom of the training video, what I'm offering, and opt in. They now opt into my list, and now they're on the list of people that I can send to the regular places. I've taken a bought list. I've created something to find out if that's what they want. Again, if you're buying a list, buy a list of who you know. If I was buying a list of people who are entrepreneurs looking to create a website, great. So my address to them in a personal email is, and it's a short email, hey, I understand you were in the market of looking for someone to create your website in the past 90 days. Now, I don't know if that's still true. You may have found somebody, but before you go on, if you're still looking, I made this video to help you out in your search. Click on this link here. It'll take you. You can watch the video for free. The whole purpose of the video then is to get them to know and like me more.
But let me ask you this. How much of a percentage of those people actually stick around?
I don't care how much they stick around. No. I don't care. I offered them help. I bought a list. I offered them help. If 2 people come in, great.
Out of a list? Okay, but here's the thing. You buy this list and say like there's 10,000 people on this list and you get 2. That's not even 1%.
Okay. James Malinchek did this many, many years ago. and he talked about the email game at his events, and he talked about what he does and how everybody made fun of the way he did it. And he showed the scenario of how he did it with in the mail mailings, right? And his in the mail mailing campaign, right? He spent, I think it was like $5,000 or $10,000 for this emailing campaign for one event. Out of that email or that mailing campaign, there were 5 people who showed up who joined his platinum coaching program, which
and did it make up for the cost that he made for the
Yeah,
listing?
that was like $30,000 times 5, and he
Okay.
spent 10. And he's like, everybody's like, you know what I mean, for 5 people, and they're like, everybody's looking at, well, I only got 2 people, but what if the lifetime value of those 2 people is $1 million? You don't know.
That's true. You don't know. But the thing is if you buy a list, you definitely have to have a plan on how to manage that list and what you're going to do with it.
If you don't buy a list and you connect with people, you better have a plan.
I
If
understand
you don't have
it.
a plan, it's not going to work.
But here's the thing, though, too, is when you have a bot list, 9 times out of 10, I found that it goes to spam, that most of the emails are no good, or most of the addresses are no good. So you bought a list with maybe
You're
30,
negative
40%.
Nelly on this one. I'm telling you right now, that's just being negative Nelly. You don't know.
I've done it. I made the mistake when I was brand new. Well, this was a long time ago. And
Okay. Disclaimer number 1. This was a long time ago.
A long time ago, and they may have changed things since then.
Okay,
but I bought a list. I did the whole process that you went through and did this and did that and blah, 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 blah. I got 2 people that answered back, and I got, I think it was just an email list, and I got, I would say 50 to 60% of the emails bounced back saying, not a good email, not a good email, not a good email. And that to me was frustrating. And then on top of that, then they started putting things out because there was so much spam going on and so many people selling lists that it got to the point where systems were saying, if you've got a bot list and we find out about it, you're going to be banned from our system.
Disclaimer number 2, you used a system that labeled that and you didn't use it in a way. You just said, no, I did everything you said. No, you didn't buy tools like SendGrid to do it where you can do that.
I'm saying that I'm saying this was a long time ago, but the fact of the matter still remains that there are still systems out there that can recognize if it's a bot list based on the bounce rate. And if your bounce rate is a certain amount, they will stop you from utilizing their, just like with Kartra. It's very picky. And if their bounce rate is any higher than a certain percentage, you're gone. You don't get to use their email anymore. And that's what happens with a lot of the systems now.
But if you're weeding the list out, you're weeding out the bounces.
Possibly, but in the meantime,
again,
bounce you out.
No. Rule number 2, all right? If it bounces, don't send them another email.
No, just even the first email. I just sent one email.
The first email bounces, you take that email out before you send another one.
I understand that, but the thing is,
clean your list.
I did that I tried it through the system, and the system bounced me out of the email altogether. It was one email. I only sent them their first email, but because 50 to 60% of them bounced back, they told me, nope, can't use the email anymore.
So take the other 50%, move on to another tool and do it again.
I'm not going to move from one tool to the next just for this stupid list.
If it's If it's a bot list,
two different reviews on this, and all I can say is I don't believe in lists, and my partner over here does. However, I do not.
And we'll see who has more money in the bank next year.
I do not. And how many systems you have to go through?
I don't care.
I'm just saying. I'm a big opponent. I don't.
For years, I was in Frank Kern's Inner Circle program, and Frank Kern said this to the Inner Circle members one time. Someone asked us as a question at an Inner Circle meeting. He said, Frank, are you worried about people copying? And I have Frank's stuff. Let's see if I even have one that I can grab. I don't. like I have all of Frank's stuff in programs, right? That very easily he had this deal where basically if you don't like it, just write me. I'll give you your money back and you can keep the product, right? And they're like, "Are you worried people are going to sell it?" And he goes, "No, I'm not." And if you go over the internet, you can find people who've taken his mass control program and just copied it and put it up on YouTube. And I'm like, "Aren't you worried about that?" And he goes, "No. I choose to focus on the people who come here to me for help instead of the people who are trying to scam me." He said, "God takes care of them in their due time. I'm going to keep helping people, right? And I'm going to focus on the ones who are who want my help, not the ones who want to scam me." All right. And he's pretty big. And he started out with a lot of bought lists. That's how he got into the internet marketing thing from the whole idea of spamming people. That's how he got into this field.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for some people it might work, but I'm not a big opponent of it.
Because you're still on the concept, and basically I've deleted them for today. I get a dozen emails every freaking day from somebody who finds my email address on my website. "Hey Tim, any chance you need a virtual assistant? Hey Tim, any chance you need SEO?" Hey, I get them all the time, right? They are the same thing. I just delete them. I'm not interested in what they have. But they are looking for somebody who's going to engage with them, and sooner or later there's somebody who's going to buy their product.
Possibly. I just don't like the odds with the bot list. Let's just put it that way. I would rather, I've gotten more business and I've gotten more money with referrals than I've gotten with any list that I ever bought.
Yeah. John Limbacher just covered this on his call today. The person who's willing to spend the most money to acquire a customer is the one who will be the most successful. So I spend $1,000. Think about this. I spend $1,000 to buy a list and I get 2 customers.
Oh.
All right. I'm not looking at the one-time sale. I'm looking at the lifetime value of the customer.
I understand that.
If you don't have a plan to make lifetime value of the customer, then you don't deserve being on building any lists.
I'm just not a big opponent on it. I'm just saying. And the reason for that is I put myself in my client's shoes. I don't want to be sold. I don't want to get the emails, like you said, that are on a regular basis. I have enough to do. I don't have to worry about all the freaking emails that are going through. I don't want to be one of those emails, whether it's a good message or not. I am not going to put myself into that position. I'm not going to start this off with somebody saying, "Oh, great. Yeah, she bought a list and I'm on that list. Yay."
No, you're looking at it again from a negative angle. I'm looking at it from the angle of, I'm not like that guy emailing me. I am different in the fact that I'm not selling them anything. My initial email has nothing to do with it. Just, "Hey, listen."
I understand that. And I make them go, the majority of people are not like you, Tim.
I know that. That's why.
Do not do this. I'm just saying.
That's why they need to be in my mastermind to learn how to do this stuff so they'll make more money.
So
right there. Solve the problem. All right. If you were in the Tim Gillette inner circle, you would learn how to do this right.
Oh my gosh. And if you really want a website that really, really helps you sell and make money, you'll give me a call. There's our plug. Yeah, you got control. You can reach her
at this website.
I know, you got control of this. There's nothing I can do. Damn! Oh! Torture! The madness of it all.
But no, we've just taken an idea that here, and this is a business success, Katrina, truthfully and honestly. So many people are closed off to all the different things that they, rather than figure out, how can I get over this hurdle? Because it's all, no, this is just one hurdle in business. I guarantee you the people who listen to this show had 1 million hurdles worse than this week. And because some of them just went, well, I'm not going to do that because right there, they set themselves up for failure. Why are you not trying to find a way around it? If that's all you have, all right, but truthfully, my list is a bought list because I ran an ad on Facebook to get you to go to a website to check me out. The only difference is I paid Facebook the money and Facebook showed you a video which made you go to my website to join my list. It's still a bought list.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, and when you look at anything when it comes to business, like you said, there's a lot of hurdles you've got to get over. You just have to pick which hurdles are going to work best for you that are worth.
Well, I'm on a mission for the next 90 days to create $1 million company. So,
well, I'm just saying that you have to pick and choose those things that are going to work best for you, not against you. And a lot of entrepreneurs out there don't know where to start with that. They don't know, okay, there's all this stuff out there. I went to this training and I'm supposed to do social media posts every day. I'm supposed to send out my newsletter or whatever to my list. I'm supposed to do a freebie. Then I'm supposed to do a video and a live video. Then I'm supposed to set up a podcast. And then I got to have my website done. And then go on and on and on with the list.
and had they just got a consultation with someone like you or me, we would have sat down and went, okay, let's write out.
No, we're not talking about you or me. I'm
plan.
talking about the issues that they've got as an
I
entrepreneur.
know.
We're
They
talking
won't.
about to manage those things, you have to figure out, where do you start? That's the thing. Where do you start when you've got all these things that are thrown at you? And that's what I think is the hardest part when it comes to entrepreneurs, is they have no clue where to start. They
Start
get
with
so
one thing.
overwhelmed, they just say, I'm done. I can't do this. It's too much.
Start with one thing. I didn't start with social media. I started by writing a blog post every day.
I understand that. I'm just saying this is what entrepreneurs are going through.
I know. And if they would just start with one thing.
I agree. But how do they pick that one thing? How is that
I don't care.
one thing?
Start with one.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, how do they go through this whole list of things? How do they pick the one thing that's really going to work for them and get that
Again,
ball rolling so that they can get some clients in and get some
It goes down to
goals
that.
going?
It goes down to that. Pull the trigger on one thing.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And if we can't put that into their mind, pull the trigger on one thing. Pull the trigger on one thing. Pull the trigger on one thing. Half the conversations I've had over the past 10 years with people coming to me with, well, I can't, blah, 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 whatever. Almost always the answer is in different languaging, but almost a basis answer to the question every time is pull the trigger on one thing.
Yeah. Just act on one.
Act on one thing.
Act
Okay,
on
well, I can't do LinkedIn. Great. Do Facebook. Do one. Right? And the problem is they get caught up into, well, I got to do. And the other thing is they get caught up into, they go from guru to guru to guru to hearing everything, and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? So they're on our show today. They're going to hear what you and I have to say. They're not going to take action onto it because they're going to be stuck in the mode of, well, I don't want to buy a list. They're going to be stuck in the mode, well, I don't want to do these 15 things to get my list. Well, they're going to start. So what are they going to do? They're going to go to, so-and-so's book writing seminar tomorrow. And they're going to talk about writing a book. Well, I'm going to go write a book. And then they're going to realize it takes a few days to get that book written and published. It's not like an overnight thing. And then they're going to 10 days into that, well, I'm not moving forward. So let me go over here to Frank's podcasting event. Oh, I need to start a podcast. But Frank gives them this freaking checklist for their podcast. You got to go buy a microphone. You got to buy headphones. You got to buy lights. All right. You got to buy, and they get caught up in that before they do anything.
Yeah.
Same thing you and I seen. And one of the reasons why you and I started talking about doing this podcast, all right, as well as the way we've gone about helping people, all right, was we seeing people in different masterminds. Not everybody now, but in masterminds we were in, we seen people in that mastermind who were doing exactly that same thing. Not everybody. There was a lot of people in there who took action. But there were some people in there, and it frustrated you. It frustrated me. It frustrated Janet. All right. It frustrated. All right. You sit there and go, Just act, people. In our minds, we wanted to say that 100 times. Just go
do something.
Right?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing is you've also got, and we've talked about this on the show too. You've also got those serial buyers that buy everything.
Yeah.
Everything. They're in every seminar, they're in every training, which is great for all the people that are running the training sessions and the platforms and so on and so forth. But then you see me say, what happened to that one thing you were doing? I'm going to sneeze again.
Sneeze. What?
Excuse me.
Bless you. The thing is,
Gotta have two.
all right, ladies
So
and
they're
gentlemen.
in that training thing, and you ask them, what happened to that one thing? Didn't you set that up? Well, I tried it and it didn't work. How long did you try it for?
Wait a minute.
Oh, maybe a month.
Is that anything like I tried the bought list one thing and it didn't work?
No, I knew you were gonna come back.
Bam!
I just don't like butt lists. I'm just saying. But
No. I'm not gonna put right now. This is a teaching moment of any of I've ever had, though. All right, and I'm not picking on you.
yes,
all right,
he is. He's picking on me.
I'm not gonna pick on you, but I'm gonna use this as a teaching moment. You've got purpose behind that, and I get it. I'm not picking on that, but 99% of the time, this is every entrepreneur you and I come in contact with. That's it. Well, I tried it once and it didn't work.
Yeah. I agree. And there have been some things I've tried that didn't work.
That's
and
like
then I went down and tried them again, and then they did work. I figure you try it twice. If it still doesn't work after the second time, then all right.
It's like the podcast thing. You know what I mean? I had a client who was in my mastermind for a couple of years. All right, who I just said, keep doing live broadcasts. Do them a lot, right? Yeah, but only 1 or 2 people's watching.
Doesn't matter. At least they're watching.
It, right?
At least they're watching.
And I tell people all the time, get started. When I used to teach just blogging, get started writing. Yeah, but nobody read it. Trust me, the first year of you writing, 99% of it, you don't want your friends and family to find it, right?
Because you're still learning how to write.
You're still learning it. But as you write, you get better. And I've put it up. I'd have to search because I really have to look for it now. I put it up at one of Craig's events, and I think you were there when I put up when Glenn Fry from the Eagles died. I wrote this thing out that was using Eagles songs in the, you know what I mean? So it was like sentences that formed out of the titles of Eagles songs. And I realized that, you know what I mean, how creative my mind got to writing. I wasn't that way when I started. I sucked. All right. I was using words like for connectors. All right. In my writing. Yeah.
Well, and that's just like when we first started, I started networking. I'd never networked before. I had no idea what I was doing. And so, and the thing is we've had this discussion too, that the majority of people out there don't know how to network. They walk in and the first thing they say is, hi, my name is Katrina Garcia and my business is KG Website Designs. And hey, if you need a website, you give me a call and I can do this for you and that for you and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they walk away and they've learned nothing about you at all. All they've done is talk about themselves. That's not networking. Networking is listening, going up and saying, hey, how's it going? My name's Katrina. So tell me about yourself. What do you do? That's great. What else do you do? You know what? I have somebody I just met that could be a really good hookup with you in regards to it could be a good synergy. Why don't I go introduce you and then the two of you can talk about it? That's what networking's about, is listening and talking to the other people, not talking about yourself. And we've talked about this on here as well in regards to content. That's the number one thing that people make mistakes on when it comes to their social media, their websites, any of their content. All they're talking about is themselves. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. I have this reward. I have this. I've been here. I've done this. I've done that. I've done this. And their audience doesn't care. What they care about, and we've talked about this before, is what's in it for me? What are you going to do for me? I don't care about the rewards you have. I don't care. What are you going to do for me? Why am I going to utilize you in your service? That's the key. with anything, including the freaking bot list.
Hold on. I'm bringing something up here for. I can't. It's not working. Let's try it this way.
I'm just saying that is the number one mistake that people make in business. I made it when I first started business. It's the number one mistake.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? Just in case you think you have to be professional to get started. Oh, wait. Hey guys, I'm Tim Gillette, and this is.
Oh my
So
God!
we're going to try something new for a show. The two of us have always. Do you remember what that was?
Oh my God! That was a long time ago.
No. That was our first show.
I know.
Wait a minute. We didn't have the synergy we have now.
No.
We didn't know how we were going to feed off, and we didn't know that.
No,
But
we just started.
that was 60 some episodes ago. All right.
Yep.
After 60 episodes, I've learned some of your idiosyncrasies. You've learned mine, right? We know how to feed off each other. But that first episode, it was like, so what are we going to talk about? Hi.
Yep.
We weren't trying to sell everybody to come watch episode number 1. We were just getting started, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. But we did it.
That's right. We did it.
Started.
Yeah.
And now we're on episode 62.
62.
62.
Yeah.
62.
Right.
62.
Here's another thing is, does everybody who comes on our show agree with us?
No.
Not only no, but I'm going to put in another word. All right. Fuck no.
No.
We are not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that, right?
And not everybody is going to be everybody's cup of tea.
No, but we started on something that, like, now we're not where we wished we would be by now. I mean, let's be honest. I wish we were a lot further. All right, being honest with you guys, right? But we're sitting here going, okay, what steps do we take to go next? What are we doing next? We talked about it, right? We realize that we're not perfect, but we're like, okay, we've got to do this, and we got to keep going. And we're going to find the niche, and then we're going to find a way that we're going to make the next step out of this, right? What are you pulling up? You're pulling up something now to really make fun of me. Oh, Susie's here.
Susie.
Yeah. Susie fabricated. So wait a minute. Was Susie in the room when we created this idea?
I think so.
I think she was in the room when we created this idea.
I think so. And here's the thing, and if people have been listening, when we first started this podcast, we were trying to figure out a name.
We didn't, yeah.
We
We didn't even know the name.
Very inventive on this name, and that it would say everything. And I don't know if did I come up with the name, or was it a combination? I can't remember.
No, we did. Okay, so here's what we were at our mastermind with Craig Duswalt. All right,
Yes.
this is a place we really got to give Craig a lot of credit, because he gives us 10-minute hot seats, and a lot of time for the hot seat. I'm not looking for a lot of feedback from the room, so I pull up something that'll jog my memory, and I write notes down from it. 90% of the time, I just use it to jog my memory. I get most of my most of the things that make me work is helping others, because I help others, and I write down, "Ooh, I should be doing that," and I start writing it down, and then I put it into action. But there I went, okay, Katrina, I said to you, I'm going to use my time slot to say we're trying to find a name for this. And then you basically volunteered to not do your slot and said, we'll do ours together.
Yep.
And by the end of that, we'd come up with several names. And like when we do that, we have somebody in the room who will go check to see if the domain name's available. Because if the domain name's not available, we're not titling the show.
Yeah, not even started it.
That's a number one rule. All right, don't title it that. But someone in the room come up with something similar to that, and we said, well, wait a minute, how about the business G spot? All right, we looked at each other in front of the room, and it was a small room. I think it was like maybe 15 to 20 people.
Yep.
In the room. And like that's a pretty good one. And literally, we went back to.
And I looked up the domain name; it was available.
And we bought it like that day. We bought the domain name.
And originally when we started this, we weren't sure which route we were going to do or how we were going to do it or the discussion we were going to have. Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, there was at one point we were saying, okay, why don't we take some of the news features and we talk about the news and we get in. No, that didn't work. Nobody cares. It's already done. Nobody cared about that.
Yeah.
So that didn't work.
I think that was a good learning experience because we were trying to get downloads, and we realized that no one's going to download a show about current events.
Nope.
It does not work. All right. So it's like, let's can that idea. And because remember we had it in the beginning. Remember the ones we'd script out? This is the topics we're going to talk about.
Yeah. That didn't work either.
That didn't work either.
No. And now what we're doing is we're just basically winging it in the respect that we're talking about our personal lives and what we're going through business wise. And it always ties into a business tip. It always,
somebody's always right in the room and the other person's,
always wrong.
Always wrong. Yeah.
That way.
No. Wait a minute. I had a friend a couple of years ago who did a show where the girl Vicky, her name was Vicky, and she did a show with this guy Robert I knew, and she was a redhead too, and redheads
are fun.
It was he said red said or something like that was the name of the show, and that's the idea I wanted a he said she said type show. All right, but and her whole thing is well, one of us is always right, and Robert needs to. She said Robert needs to figure out it's always me.
Well, we all know who's right on this show all the time. Yeah. I would put other fingers up, but I want to be nice.
I have everything right here at
he's got it all as his fingertips because he's the one who's managing it on the back end. So I'm screwed.
No, look. I even have it in the bottom name already.
I'm screwed. But as you can see, we've come a long way. And now we have synergy, and now we've been getting more of an audience. But we've also learned, too, how to get the word out. And that's the key thing that we did not do up front, that we should have been doing. We talked about it, but we didn't do it. Now we're putting posts out a couple hours beforehand to let people know, hey, are you going to be joining us? Are you going to be, check it out, come by. And then we're finding other ways to connect and give people the opportunity then to go on, see all of our other episodes, see our new episodes, and the website, of course, is almost done. We just have to push it over into the hosting piece and get it all set up.
Yeah.
I will talk to you after this. I found out some key things that we can implement as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's a learning progress. And what we learn, we share with you as our audience because we're only sharing experiences we've been through. We're not an expert unless we've gone through it.
We're only sharing our opinions.
But a lot of the stuff we share is because it's things that we've tried and we've gone through it. Not because we're just saying, well, so-and-so told me it works, so I guess it works. It's stuff we've actually been through. And we're both serial entrepreneurs to a certain degree. I've always been one ever since I was little. I just never really hit the button.
I'm trying to read Robert's comments over here. I'm going to bring them up on screen. If you can take right and wrong out of the picture, that is need to win also a thing. Oh, and hey, that Craig Duswalt knows my name due to my work here. How is this not a win? Craig doesn't consider it a win. I'm going to tell you that right now, Robert, until you actually buy a ticket and come to his event. Love you, Craig.
You can pay me later.
Yeah. This is also evidence that Craig watches your show regularly.
This is a bonus.
Craig does watch our show regularly, I found out. And if we make bad comments, I get texts about them. I love you, Craig.
His name is thrown around on this show a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
No. The coolest thing that I got to tell you this is we're getting close to the end of the top of the hour, but the coolest thing I've ever seen at Craig Duswalt's event, coolest thing in the world, was where Marianne Amen come up on stage. She basically was having a bad freaking day and she had to speak. And she said, and she did this whole thing to try to teach people that, you know what I mean, you could love yourself. And she got up on stage and she says, I need everybody right now. I'm not having a great day, so I need you to say something to me. Just say, we love you, Marianne. And that is
I remember that.
Craig's event, where every time Marianne walks up on stage, everybody goes, we love you, Marianne.
Marianne, yes. I remember that.
That is the coolest thing I've ever had, coolest experience ever at Craig's event.
Yeah.
Because I also happen to know, because I know Marianne very well. She's one of the reasons I joined his mastermind in the beginning. All right.
Yeah.
Marianne really was having a bad day.
She came a long way.
I seen Marianne before you seen Marianne.
I understand that, but even when I saw Marianne, she came a long way.
Yeah.
She came a long way from where she was when I even saw her, and I know it was a lot different. I mean, you were with him a lot longer, but believe it or not, I started with Craig and did his first event in 2014. No, 2012.
Okay.
2012, I think it was. It was 2012.
I knew about Craig's event in 2009 and 10.
Oh, I know you've been with him a lot longer, but I started in 2012.
I didn't go to my first event until 2012. It was March 2012 was the first one I ever went to.
2012. And I remember seeing this guy in the back. He was this tall guy with long hair. And, oh, man, he had an attitude.
No. I will tell you truthfully. All right. So I went to Craig's event for the very first time. And the person greeted me at the back door was Bridget Brady.
Oh, yeah.
First person I ever met with Craig's thing was Bridget Brady, but I also seen Carol McManus. Do you know Carol McManus?
I think so, yes.
Okay. She's out of the East Coast. I knew Carol because she had it on a radio show. And I listened to her radio show, her LinkedIn radio show. And I knew her from there, right? Back when I was Rocker Life Coach. And I met her there in person for the first time in person. And I got to connect with her. When I left that first event of Craig's, knowing those two people, and I think that was Carol Shockley was his event planner at the time. There were people who the first day there were helping out at the back table and helping out at the doors and stuff. The second day were not there because Carol Shockley sent them home because they were not a positive vibe in the room.
Nice for her.
There were a lot of things. There were mean people who basically eventually got kicked out of the. How I've been able to be mean and still be part of that back table, I have no clue.
I
think I do it in a loving fashion.
I'm just being pain in the ass.
Anyway.
Just because I love you, that's all.
Yeah. So, all right, we're over 1 hour. All right, we've made it over 1 hour, and I got to get ready because I got a client meeting.
Yeah, me too. I got things I got to do for somebody too.
I got a new client that I'm signing on tonight to do websites for.
Nice.
So.
Nice job, sir.
Guy who wrote a very, very interesting book about being stuck in the water in a kayak or something like that. I don't know the whole story yet, but he's got a book coming out. So
very nice.
And I'm going to do his website. So
you
go. All right. Anyway, guys, Tim Gillette, Simple Easy website, Simple Easy Marketing. Go check me out, simpleeasywebsites.com. And
I'm Katrina Garcia with KG Website Designs, where we help you make your website make money for you.
Yep. And our show is the Business G Spot. We're back here every Thursday at 3 p.m.
Yes.
And we'll be back here next week with another call just before Good Friday. So good Thursday episode.
Aha.
But I'm bummed.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.